This is your one and only 𝐹irespark81 with your daily dose of video goodness, and welcome back to another exciting episode of Freeform Friday, where we play some random video game. And today's game is called Flotsam. It's very similar to the game we played last week, in which you are managing a town that's built on top of water, and you're stuck on like this water world type situation. As you can see up in the top left hand corner, it is early access, so everything you're seeing in this video is subject to change between now and release. But this one handles things a little bit differently than the game we played last week. While it's a city building on water type situation, it is very different compared to the other one. So I've already played a little bit. I'm actually going to just create a new game here and we'll jump into it. So you got to start off naming your town. We're just gonna, Bottleville, that's fine. Start adventure. So this is what you start off with. You're just this little center town heart here, and we can just go ahead and get rid of all of that. So you don't actually move this around like we did in the other one that we played last week. With this one, your town is stationary and you move on a map. So like we'll just change areas from each of these and just go through the map there. And I haven't gotten too far in the map. I think I got to here is where I got to in my previous play. I played just enough to get an understanding of how the game works. So you want to collect the resources. In order to do that right now, we don't have a boat, so we got to send swimmers out. And you do that by just placing the buoy markers. We can change the size of that so that it'll just encompass a bunch of stuff there. We can zoom out, we can zoom in, we can rotate, the usual stuff. And I'm getting a little bit of stutter. I'm not sure what's causing that, but early access games, so those things are bound to happen. Of course, we have our build menu, but we got to wait till they bring back stuff before we can build any of this. We can go ahead and we can just change the speed here. So we do have to do food and water for our people. We have to manage those things. We'll just put a couple more buoys out here just to get them all moving and get them collecting stuff. So yeah, food and water, you got to manage that, of course. And then they need sleep spots too, or they just fall asleep on the ground. That part of the game kind of reminds me a little bit of Oxygen Not Included. Just the way that they have the different characteristics. Let me see if I can pause. So you can see like they got this dude gets thirsty, or lady gets thirsty fast, and you can't control that. Like they just start you with 3. You don't get to randomize them. You can see we got a rejuvenation buff here. This is what they like to eat. So, and then they have their food, water, and sleep. But it's pretty cool so far from what I've played. It's relatively easy to get the hang of. So now that they've collected some stuff, let's see here. So we can build a walkway off of our heart here. We'll just build that out. Yeah, that's good there. And then we'll get some storage going as well, so they have plenty of storage spots. And then we'll just wait and they will go through and build all of that. And we can zoom all the way out to here and see that there's an island over here. We go get this. This is the mast. Once we get that, we need boats first before we can get over there. But once we get that, then we can move on the map. So right now we're just kind of stuck until we gather up all the necessary stuff. You can see there's fish over here that we can go get, but we can't get any of that until we get the capability to do boats. So the next thing I'm going to build is a drying rack. That's going to let us dry the wood out. We're just going to build one of those right there. So now the storage, they store stuff in here, but in our town heart, but they also store stuff here too. So we just got our different storage there. You can see our water, our overall storage. So this stores 100, each of these store 20. And I'm just gonna let them build this up a little bit here. Actually, I think what we're gonna do, let's do one more storage box right here next to this one, just so we have plenty. I like to pause when I'm building so like I can get everything super close together and get it just right. So we'll let them build that there. And then I'm probably going to build one more drying rack here as well. Like I said, we'll just have them across from each other. You have to select what you want it to dry. So we're going to start with wood on this one. And I'll do wood on the next one too, but the second one will eventually convert to fish. But for now, it's going to be wood because we need a lot of dry wood. So we'll just do that and let that get going. Now, once we get 6 dried wood, we can then make the workshop. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to just build out from this side. So we'll just attach this one like that. Actually, nope, I don't like that. That doesn't seem straight to me. Let's see if we can get a straight path. Maybe, maybe not. Doesn't look like it wants to. All right, can we do that? Yeah, there we go. That's what I'm looking for. So we're going to build that out there. I'm going to build 2 docks off of that and the workshop on this side. The next thing we'll have to build is the workshop. So you can see that right here. We need 6 plastic and 6 dried wood. So we'll continue to just let them build this pathway through here, and then we should eventually, by the time that that's done, there we go. Now we got the workshop before it's even done. So we'll pause. We'll just slam the workshop right against there like that and let that get to building. We also need to build the distiller, but I'm going to get the boats going first. I think we're pretty good on water right now. I think our best bet will be to get a boat going. In order to do that, we need rope. So we have to wait for the workshop or the workshed to be done. Woodworking shed, yeah, that, before we can make the rope. Okay, now that that's done, we can queue up some rope. So this actually takes a person. These work without a person doing anything. They just put the stuff on here and then time passes and the wood dries. Some of these things like the woodworking shed, the person actually has to go and like do the thing. So I'm just gonna queue up 2 ropes. Yeah, we can only make 1 right now, but I'm gonna queue 2 instead. Okay, there we go. So the other one popped in just so we have the other one, because I'll eventually want to make 2 of the mooring points. Wow, I cannot talk today. It's one of those days, folks. It's one of those days where, you know, the brain's working, but the mouth is not. Okay, so they'll just go through and they'll make that, and then we need to patiently wait until we get all the proper stuff. And now we have it. So now we can build the mooring point for the boat. And I'm just going to get that as close as I can. So these extend out bigger, like they're bigger than what you see. If you look here, you see how it starts to turn red. That's because right there is our spot and you can see the area. So what it is, they just bring the boat up here and then like dock it. So they need all this open area, which means you also can't build a path across here either. So remember that when you're building these, like you need a straight way all the way out from where it goes. You cannot build a path in front of it. And I'm actually going to build a second one here. And I'm just going to get that one once again as close to the other one as possible. Just like that. So now we have 2. Oh, those actually look like they may have overlapped ever so slightly. Oh, maybe not. Maybe it's just the way that, oh yeah, they did actually. We somehow managed to overlap them a little bit, it looks like. Oh no, it's just the water. Okay, so yeah, they're right on top of each other. Okay, so now that we got those, that means we can build a fishing boat and a salvage boat. The next big thing that we're gonna wanna build is a distillery so we can get water going, because we have water is ticking down. And I think there is a bug, but I'm not 100% sure, so take this with a grain of salt. I think when you speed up, your food and water go down faster than what they would if it was slower, and I think it's more than what they would normally use, if that makes sense. So say they used 1 water every, I don't know, 1 minute. Well, when you speed it up, I think that it doesn't, I don't know, something wonky goes on, because I've had a situation in my previous playthrough where I had 10 water and I was, you know, making water in the distillery, and the water was going down faster than I could make it in the distillery on fast speed. However, once I stopped the fast speed and put it back on normal play, I was able to produce more water than what was needed. So there's a time dilation issue there, because if I'm able to on normal speed make more water than what they're using, then I should also be able to do that when it's fast speed, if that makes sense to people. I think there's a slight bug when you speed up the game, but I can't prove it 100% for sure. I'm pretty sure there is, because like I said, that I was producing more than enough water on normal speed, but as soon as I sped it up, even though I was constantly producing it, I just could not keep up with the food and water. So I don't really recommend running it on fast speed any longer than you have to. Like, do it in quick spurts, because you could just end up using, you know, too much of your stuff and just burning straight through it. Okay, so here we go. Now we're just going to build this right up next to there, like so. And then I also, oh, we're out of plastic. Okay, so we need to wait till we get more plastic. So they should just go over there and continue to farm those areas. We should have more than enough resources for what we need. So I'm just gonna wait till they do that, let them build up the stuff, because I also want to put what is this called? What's this thing? A storage yard. I'm out of it today, folks. Just completely out of it. Don't mind me. I want to put a storage yard like right near the boat area, so they can quickly and easily unload the boats. Now you can build these further than the resources it shows. So like if you take a look, I can build this like right here, and this is going to cost me 8, right? But then if I stretch it out, you can see I can also go all the way out to here, and that also only costs me 8. So you want to get the maximum, most of the time, use out of your resources and build like right to the point where it switches over to 16. And you wouldn't want to build this 16 to here when you could go slightly back and build 8. So if you're going to build 16, you want to stretch that out as far as you can, like that. So you got to be careful about that, because you could end up wasting resources. So what we're going to do is we're just going to go right there like that, because either way, no matter what length I go there between here and here, it's going to cost me 8. So that's going to let me put a couple more of the storage things here. So now they can put, what I'll eventually do is just have these be dried wood, and all the new resources that come in will go along here. That way they'll load these up and then immediately put the dry wood over here. Just helps with management. And you can just do that by clicking on and off of the things like so, just to help them manage and not do so much running. So now we can build our first boat. This is going to be our salvage boat, and we'll go ahead and we'll just build that there. That's going to let us go out there and get some of that further out salvage, as well as go over here to the island. And then as soon as we get enough wood, we'll make, and plastic, we'll make the fishing boat. That way we can keep our food going. And if you notice, the food's barely ticked down at all, but the water's ticked down like crazy. So we're also going to have to get that going as well. We're going to queue up a few of the firewood here, and then we will do 4 waters as well. So with this setup, it's a 1-to-1. So every 1 firewood you make, you're going to get 1 unit of water, which is really freaking brutal. Okay, now that we've completed the boat, we can now select this marker, which is the boat marker. And this one can go much further out. So we're going to go all the way out here and put the boat out here to this. And we're just going to make that max, so you can see that we got just a little bit there that we get when we increase it a little bit further. So we're going to do that. And then we're also going to tell the boat to go over to the island. And you can do that just by clicking over here and then clicking salvage, and then just waiting patiently, and it'll eventually go over there and do the thing. The other thing we're going to have to start making is beds, but I really want to get a fishing boat up and running. So we need to hold out just a little bit longer. They should come over here and eventually start to gather this plastic. I'm going to remove this one so that they just come over here and start getting this plastic. We could also put a boat marker here, but I really need the boat on wood duty, because we need so much more wood, because we're going to eventually just chop it all, so much of it, into firewood in order to get the water up and running. I really wish it would give you more than 1 water. Like, it really should. It should be 1 firewood, and then each one of these should give you 2 water points, and it doesn't. The 1-to-1 ratio is just like terrible, because you just spend so much time chopping firewood and making the water that you waste more time doing that than you do, you know, actually playing the game and doing other things. As you see there, we just got this little check mark here, and that means we completed the island. They show you that you salvaged it. So shortly the boat should return and bring back all of those resources. We need to definitely get some beds up soon so they stop sleeping on the ground. Let's see here. So we're gonna grab that, and we'll just go out this way from here. Just like that. Actually, that's not straight either. Why can't I get it? Never wants to go straight. Why is it telling me 16 now? Hold on, let's just cancel that all together. All right, let's see. Can we get it to go that straight? Nope. All right, there we go. I think that's about as good as it's going to get. Now we just got to wait patiently again until we get some more plastic. So actually, I think what I'm going to do in this situation is kill this, remove marker, kill this, remove this marker, and then put a boat marker here, enlarge it, and just get the boat getting out here and getting this plastic. We could also make another boat and then break it back down, but I'm just going to wait. This boat should eventually do all that we need it to do. We just got to wait patiently till everything else is done, you know, processing here. And you can see we're starting to run low on water, even though we're still processing that stuff. Just gonna go back through and turn a whole bunch of that wood into firewood so we can keep the water going, because we're using up way more of it than we should be. Another thing you can do to help manage your people is you can select down here, this little thing down here, and tell them what you want them to do. So for example, this lady here, we're actually going to remove her from construction duty, and we're going to remove her from crafting at the workshops, gathering, and yeah, we're going to remove that. Basically, I'm going to remove her from everything except for the salvaging. Okay, and now she should only go out and salvage. And now that we've got a little bit of plastic and wood built up, we can start to build their beds. So I'm just going to build those right along here. Just going to go one there. Oh, I guess that's all we can build for now. So we get one bed. So you have to have one bed for each of them. They won't share a bed. So once that bed's complete, then we'll have to build another bed. So she just brought some plastic back. As soon as she delivers that, we should be able to build the next one. All right, one bed down, next bed gonna be built, and we're just gonna place that right there like that, and I'll put the other one on the other side. This whole row here will probably just be like the bed row. All right, now that we got enough resources, it's time for us to build our fishing boat. So we're gonna go ahead and get that going, use up the last of our resources for that. We still need another bed, but I need to get the fishing boat going because our food is starting to tick down. And we need to get another, I think I'm just gonna leave these both for wood and just build another one for drying fish. So we just gotta wait till she comes back. She's taking this boat out. I got just a marker out here for now so we can bring back more wood because we need a crap load of wood. I'm starting to get these little micro freezes, and I'm not sure what's causing it. It was doing it the last time I played it, and I didn't do it. It didn't start doing it until I started messing with the graphics settings. So I don't know. I don't know. It's weird. Early access game. Once again, keep that in mind. Now that the fishing boat's done, we can select this marker here and place it out here to gather fish. So you can see we just highlight over the fish like that. Like so, and then we don't need to enlarge it or shrink it. We just leave it where it is like that, and then they will just come out here and get the fish and then bring them back. And then what we'll have to do is put them on a drying rack. So we need some more plastic before we can do that. So let's remove that marker there, and actually let's remove that one, and let's put a new marker here where all this plastic is. And you can tell them not to collect specific things in an area. So like if I make it that big, we can say don't get any wet wood, only get the plastic from this area, and then they will go out there and grab that. We're gonna keep the water production going as well as the firewood, but I'm gonna let it go for just a little bit because I need the other ones to do other things besides freaking chop wood. Okay, the next thing we want to build is the sails. So before I do that though, I want to build just a little bit of a walkway out from this area here. So we're just going to build right out like that, and then we can just slap the sail right up on it like so. Just basically I'm putting the sails in an area where they're not going to be in the way. So now I can build further out this way and further out this way and out this way, and then eventually connect each of those paths together. So now we just got to wait for them to do that. Once this is built, then we can move on the map. Okay, the sails have been built, and now it's time to start removing. You don't have to remove the buoys, but I like to do it and make sure that none of the boats are out. I don't know, I'm just weird like that. I've done it once where I just move, like you can just move and not worry about it, but I'm gonna go through, remove all these, make sure everybody makes it back. We'll remove this one, she'll bring back that last load. And then what we'll do is go to the map once she makes it back. And I'm sure that we unload the resources. Then we'll go to the map and move to the next spot. All right, she made it back. So now we just click the map and you can see here where it tells you what it takes. Like I can move here with just the sails. When we get to here and it shows you what you'll get, we'll get oil. Then we need oil to move to here. We need it to move to here and here and here, but we can use wind to move from here over to this next island here. I wish it would let you scroll. It doesn't, you can't scroll through the map until you get to the area, which is kind of annoying. But yeah, so we're gonna go to this area here, which is our next area. And it shows you that we're gonna get more people and an abandoned town. So we just click it and then it goes. And that's it. Now we're at the new area and we're like right in the middle of a bunch of wood, which I guess is fine. So we'll just click that, make it larger, and then wait patiently. We can also find the island with the people. So this is the island with the people. We just click that to rescue them. So we'll go over there, get some more workers because we definitely need some more workers. The downside is that means we're going to use more food and water. All right, unfortunately we've hit our wrap up time. So if you like this video, as usual, I'll put a link for it in the description. If it goes to the Humble Store, it helps support the channel. If it doesn't, then it doesn't. Remember, this is an early access game, so keep that in mind. All right, that is going to wrap it up for this episode. If you like what you saw, consider hitting that sub button. I want to give a big thank you to my patrons for making this episode possible. You all are absolutely amazing people. If you'd like to join my elite crew of Patreon supporters, please check out the link in the description below. If you enjoyed this video, please leave a comment down below and let me know what you thought. If you're shy, you don't like to comment, just hit that thumbs up button and show your support. Until next time, thanks for watching.